Hey everybody, Trevor Sikkema here, welcoming you into a brand new edition of Favorite Fits. And of course, we have a treat this week. Just like Mock the Mock, we will be going over my own mock draft, my new 4.0 version, which is over at the Draft Network. And I had a lot of fun reading you guys' tweets and replies to my mock draft for Mock the Mock. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely go over and see that. There's plenty of roasting of myself on that one, which I never have a problem doing. But we're talking favorite fits. We're now trying to rebuild my ego after tearing it down earlier this week. And I wanted to read some more of your replies for some picks that you guys enjoyed. So, to the phone. Let's go right to it. Adam Ski, good Twitter name. He said this one. This is about number 4 overall with the Falcons. I'd be so conflicted with this mock from a Falcons perspective. Passing on Justin Fields, which I did have them do. Fields went 5 overall. To land Kyle Pitts would be one I'd hate initially until the day after, and I realized that we got a potential generational tight end in a tight end heavy scheme. Well, Adam nailed it there. That's exactly what my thought process was for Kyle Pitts going number 4 overall to the Atlanta Falcons. When you look at tendencies over the last 2 years, new head coach Arthur Smith, who was the offensive coordinator at the Titans for the last 2 years, he ran heavy personnel packages more than any other offensive coordinator in the NFL. We know that's where the NFL is going. If you have the ability to put multiple tight ends on the field and be versatile, and we're seeing a ton of teams around the NFL have a lot of success doing that. Tennessee, of course, is one of them. Yes, Justin Fields was still on the board, and yes, I think Justin Fields would be a good pick for the Atlanta Falcons, but it was a what I think will happen mock draft. And when I look at first-time head coach Arthur Smith getting the first time to really call the shots in the war room with his team, I don't think he's going to take a farm system quarterback. And that doesn't have to be Justin Fields. Justin Fields is the guy who can start right away. But in Atlanta, no, I don't think so. I think that Matt Ryan's going to be there for another year or two. So long-term, Falcons fans could look at this and say, hey, we want to set up the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers kind of situation. I just don't think Arthur Smith is going to do that. He's instead going to take an offensive player who's going to give him a lot of versatility in exactly what he wants to do. That's what I think happens. All right, for our next tweet and our next pick, we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, where at number 6 overall, I had them taking Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell. Mass Eagle tweeted at me and said this: as much as I would like to disagree with the Eagles pick, I can't disagree with your logic. The Eagles could have 5 starting caliber offensive tackles on the roster, and Howie Roseman, of course, the GM, still will pick another player if that player falls. And so when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles situation, Jamar Chase is still on the board when they were on the clock, as was Jalen Waddle. They need an offensive weapon, no doubt about it. But they also saw how bad their offensive line got last year when some of their guys went down with injury. Hoping they have Lane Johnson back, Brandon Brooks, hopefully Jason Kelsey as well, and you hope that right side of the offensive line is solidified. But at left tackle, there's 2 guys that I think that they're weighing right now. You've got Andre Dillard, the former first-round pick, and then Jordan Mailata as well, who played better than expected. You can go into the season and hope those guys will play well, or you could draft Penei Sewell and know for a fact that you're going to have good left tackle play and good left tackle play for years and years to come, because he's going to be a fantastic player for you. I think that if Sewell falls to number 6, that's the way the Eagles are going to go. I don't think they would draft a wide receiver. I think that they would take the trench player. I think that they would address wide receiver later, which I have them doing in round 2, which you can read over at thedraftnetwork.com. So I think that you got to always think of an entire draft strategy for teams. Sometimes it's not about just the individual pick that happens in the first round. I think this is a big win for the Eagles. I really do think that at the end of the day, if Penei Sewell makes it to them at number 6 and there isn't a quarterback to consider, they're going to pull the trigger on getting the trench player. So that's why I made this pick here. This last one's short and sweet, so I'll just read it off. It's the Las Vegas Raiders at number 17. I had them selecting Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons, and the tweet is simply Micah. Oh, I like this mock, hashtag Raider Nation. So, look, short and sweet, and it's true. If Micah Parsons makes it to the Las Vegas Raiders at number 17, which there is a chance that this happens, people, need to be an absolute home run. Gruden and Mayock would be sprinting to the podium to make this happen. The Raiders have been trying to get more athletic at linebacker for a long time. We saw them try to invest a lot of money into it last free agency. It didn't exactly pan out the way that they wanted to. They didn't have that coverage athleticism for the investment they thought they were making. Parsons not only gives them that and a great player in the middle, he's also great on the blitz. And when you think about what the Raiders also need, to edge rusher. Now, Parsons, of course, isn't going to be a full-time edge player, but he's a guy who, man, like the Buccaneers use with Devin White, attacking a line of scrimmage, up the A gap, up the B gap, and Parsons has plenty of experience rushing off the edge too as a former edge player. So you get all of this pass rush ability as well as linebacker instincts and coverage and sideline to sideline speed. It's all there. This is the perfect Raiders player if he can make it at 17. All right, that's all the ego boosting for me this week for favorite fits. If you haven't seen the full mock draft yet, you can do so over at thedraftnetwork.com. I've got rounds 1 and 2 out right now, round 3 coming out later this week. Check it out. Comment below. Let me know which players that you really liked. Maybe some picks that you didn't like too, although you can go over to Mock the Mock and probably have a lot more people agreeing with you on some picks you hated over there. Either way, like and subscribe to the Draft Network. We'll see you guys next week.